Hi everyone, it's Denise with Wondubar Crafts. I'm back. At least I hope. I know I had said I was going to do a video a couple days ago, but boy, let me tell you, that stuff it hit me like so fast. And I mean, it was kind of like lingering to come on. And then boy, when it hit, it just hit. I did go to the doctor and he said I had sinus stuff, so a sinus infection. So gave me some stuff. It's been helping. I feel so much better. So thank you, everyone that has been, telling me, take care, get better. I appreciate it. Because believe me, it did. It helped me. Um, Welcome any new subscribers. And today I am going to start a new journal. It is a custom order for my friend Lori. Hi, Lori. And she asked, she wanted a custom journal. She's like, just kind of do you. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my new Spring Blooms Friendship Kit in it. I'm also going to use Crafty Cat's Ada 1888, her like the newsprint in here, and probably a little Medieval Mirage, not a whole lot in there, just a little bit. But what I wanted to do was I went ahead and printed everything out and I got everything folded. I kind of just wanted to go through kind of my process on how I put my signatures together. I know everybody does things different. I know some of my viewers are making journals, or they're thinking about it, or they've gotten things together. And I remember when I first started making journals, I wasn't really sure. I thought there was a specific way you had to put everything. No, there isn't. It's how you kind of want to put what you want to put in your signatures. I'm just going to kind of more or less, really what I wanted to do was not so much put the signatures together, because that's pretty much easy. But what I wanted to do was kind of show you guys, if you're unfamiliar with how to get, and I know there's other videos out there, but how to get pages, this is going to be the cover, out of books. And if you're not sure how, because like sometimes you'll get a book and it's very old and tattered, like these old vintage music books. I have to be real careful when I take them apart, because they're not sewn in, they're actually stapled in. So you've got to be real careful. And kind of how I do it, it's not foolproof, I'll tell you that, but it does help. More so than just trying to, do this or do that, and then I end up ripping all my pages out. So, really, let's see. Get with it, Denise. So anyways, let me kind of backtrack. This is the cover I'm going to use. It was a book that I got, I think, at a garage sale or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna take the spine off. I'm gonna make it much bigger, a much bigger book, and I'm gonna paint the cover and do some other, probably decoupage or something on it. But because I wanted something that would fit my whole page without cutting them down, I needed to get because the Reader's Digest are great size books, but a lot of times you have to cut your pages down, and I really didn't want to with this one. So this one's kind of perfect. It fits in there just nice. So I'm going to use the front and back board, and then I'll make my own spine for it. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to go check out Crafty Cat's her book cradle, but I've already used this. I put together, while I wasn't feeling good, because I needed to do something up here, I put together a couple of, and this is Gail Augustinelli's. I know you guys have seen her, probably seen her video on how she made her little books, her ephemera books. So I put a couple together. to get those things out of the little containers. So I made a couple up for that and put all my stuff in there. Still organizing on it. So, but I did use the cradle to put the books together, and I love it. It is so much simpler. And I like the fact that I can sit it up here on my book, and I can keep my little signatures here and, you know, kind of up and out of the way, but still have them available. So if you guys get a chance, I think she's got one or two in her shop still. Yeah, so sorry, I'm just trying to get right back into it, and I know that I shouldn't assume that I can just do that because it never happens, right? So, like some of these books, a lot of times, most books are sewn. You will get a few that are glued, or they'll be sewn like a 1 or 2 pages sewn together, and the remainder of it's glued in. And if that's the case, you may end up you might not be able to get it open. I mean, the whole point is to try and take a signature page out so it fits right back in as a signature. Sometimes you're not always able to do that. If that's the case and you have 2 pages that you want to use, washi tape is excellent to use to put your 2 pieces together. If you're still not feel that it's confident, just get some very thin or some cotton. You know, it doesn't have to be heavy duty cotton. It's just something, and then you can just kind of glue it on there and use it to kind of help bind your pages together if you needed to. If that was the case and you found, sometimes with magazines that happens a lot. So anyway, so I've got this little book and I haven't opened it. I haven't taken it apart yet. So I thought maybe what I could do is take it apart and kind of show you guys how I take my signatures out, and maybe that'll help you if you're, some people can get them tucked right and pulled right out and not have any problem with tearing. I have fat little short fingers that tear everything I touch. So I normally have to take my signatures apart. So if you look at an older book, and you know, this is essentially your signatures, right? You can see if you pull it apart, they'll kind of come, you'll see how they segregate. They separate, and those are your signatures, okay? So what I do is I normally start at the beginning of the book, and normally this one has a tip-in page, and what they've done is they tipped it in, and then they glued the front page to the end of the signature. So I can take that out, but I will not, this page here will probably have to stay with it unless I peel the glue off of it, which I really don't want to do. But a lot of times your signatures are anywhere between 6, and I have found 6 to 8 pages normally. But if you kind of count in, or even just kind of open it to where you find where it's, a lot of times, see, this one's kind of falling apart, which will kind of be good. It'll help me try and get it apart. You can kind of open and kind of, don't pull too hard, but if you kind of pull up, you'll see where it goes there. That's my middle there. Is that it? Yep. And then here you can see there's the string where it's sewn in. Okay. A lot of times you'll have 2 strings. Sometimes you'll have 1 string. Just depends on who the book manufacturer, who put the book together. Okay. And what I do is, what I like to do, now you could take some really sharp pointy scissors and just snip. That's fine too. I tend to get a little pushy with my fingers, so I use my little Cricut tool here, my little pokey tool, and I just snip it. I pull it up and snip it. With these older books, a lot of times, because the binding is very loose on them, it's very easy. Sometimes towards the center of the book, they'll get a little tighter. So you got to be a little more careful with how you do it. So now that they're clipped, pulls right out. See how easy that is? So see, as you can see, this is kind of glued here, and I want to leave that. I don't want to ruin that. So I've got one signature done. Let me go ahead and find the next one. All right. And sometimes you can just kind of see it, but sometimes if your book is older, it'll press into the spine inward, and it's very hard to kind of see because the thread will get buried. Here it is. This one's already broken for me. Now, like I was saying before, you can come in here and just take your scissors and snip. Now, for some reason, this second signature had 2 strings. The first one only had 1. This one has 2. Don't know why, but it does. It's just all in how and who published it, you know, whatever publishing house published it, and or bookbinding company bound it together. So for now, I'm just going to pull out these 2 signatures because that's really all I need to do. I don't want to take too much out of my book at once unless I'm going to use it, because I, you know, sometimes will tend to use my pages. So anyways, these are some of the pages I want to put in. I'm going to put in my signature. So that is taken apart. I already have a couple books that are already taken apart, but I have, let's see, I'm going to put some Edith Holden in here. I like this. I got this from a live auction somewhere, and it's just a cardboard little music paper, and I thought that would kind of be cute in there. Get some Edith Holden, and then I've got, I don't know which magazine I want to use. I want to put a magazine page in here too, or a couple of them. And I have these older magazines, and of course with magazines they're normally stapled, especially the older ones. And as you can see, it's pulled through already on that one. So what I have a staple remover, and you can use this, but because these pages, I mean, you can take your time and try and pull it up. No. Let me see if I can find it here. I brought it up. Normally I will sit at the dining room table to do this, but take an old butter knife. I have an old one that I just used for this, and I very carefully try and get up underneath it and make sure that your blade is pointing away from you when you do that. If you use this, okay, it's not wanting to come up from there. There we go. And then because a lot of these older magazines use like thin, flimsy staples, should be fairly easy to kind of get them up. Just be careful, you don't want to poke yourself. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is take that one off so I can get to all right. Now I'm just going to pop it in there because I don't, the problem with using these is when you go, you tear the paper. So, I mean, that's the whole point, is to try and keep it from tearing too much. Okay. And you don't, if you get a staple that's really thick, use this to get it started and get it moved before you use a flat surface. I mean, you don't even have to use a butter knife. You could use something like your little Cricut sponge just to get up underneath there and get it some leverage to pull it up. Because once you do that, they're very easy. Now, I can just pull it right out without creating too much damage. Okay, so now I know that one's done. Now this one, it looks like somebody taped over to kind of restore it, and so some of the pages are going to fall apart. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that out because of the tape. I mean, they In fact, I don't even think these are signature pages, are they? Oh, yeah, they are. Okay. All right, so let's see. I might be able to break through the tape, kind of poke through there. So that I can grip it at some point. I just don't want to, and that's what scares me about these big, thick ones. All right. I just don't want to do too much damage because apparently there's already damage to the magazine, but I'd still like to use it, you know. All right. How are we going to get in there? Let's see. Let's be inventive. Where is my... Okay, this one's got a very, very small tip on it. So I'm just really wanting to cut this tape so that I can get up underneath there. I don't know why this thing flip-flops all over too. I got it, and it's supposed to be this itty-bitty blade, and I have tried tightening it, and it just wants to swivel wherever it wants to go. All right. I know I have a bigger one somewhere, but that's all right. Just so long as I can get in here and try and get those. See, now I got the staple up a little bit, and that's really all I need to do from this point. Now, I can take my butter knife, my sharp end away, and just kind of pry it up. I know you guys are probably squinching and going, Denise. But trust me, I do a lot of these, trying to get like vintage music paper out of, like, especially those other books there. I just try not to give, if I have to give too much pressure, I'll you know, I don't put, I can't get it to move, then I'll work with it a little more with the staple remover to try and give me some more leverage. I'm just trying to get them. There we go. Now, hopefully, I can grab it. Pull it out. Push it out the other way. One of the two. Here we go. See, that's a big, thick staple. They did not want this magazine taken apart. Jeez. Yeah, they had to tape it together because it was falling apart. All right. So, now, am I telling you that's the best way to do it? No. If you have another way and you can get into it better, and you, by all means, please do it that way. I just find it's easier when I'm dealing with that to use it that way. I mean, I know that's not a conventional, and I'm telling you that's not the right way, and I'm telling you, if you're going to use the butter knife, just be careful. Don't to where you could slip it, and you don't want to do that. If it's that tough, work it out with your staple remover a little bit more, you know, because I don't want anybody getting hurt. That's just the way I do it. So, let's see. All right. See how these are now? They're like, the pages have already come out. Let's see if we can find a, because, you know, this is like, you know, the Friends thing, and I might be able to use some of it. I don't know if I'll be able to use it in the journal itself, but I might be able to cut some of the the photos out and do some collaging with it, right? So we'll set this one aside. This is an old one. Wooden Becomes You, Reynolds Yarns. All right, so now that I've got a few things, I've got tea stains, I've got some coffee stains, what I want to do is just kind of start stacking my signatures. So I printed my 3 signature covers. Those are these 3, and I printed them on the 60-pound hammer mill, which I like. It's a heavier. It's not quite cardstock, but it is a heavier since it's going to be my cover. So those are my 3, and then I printed everything else out on 28-pound hammer mill copy paper. So what I'm going to do is just start going through this one in here and just kind of staggering my pages. And then I can always go through and redo them any way I want. This in between here, that in between there. And then, I mean, this is really all I do. I know some people, they go through and they'll stack different ways this way, to stack different ways that way. And it all works. That's however you want to do it. I do it this way when I stagger them. That way it kind of keeps me, so I know what went where and that I got an even amount here, and kind of staggering. All right, so one of these in here. Probably, it won't be exactly like that. I will stagger them. I'll put different things in between. I'm just trying to kind of get them. And that's one of the other reasons why I don't sew my signatures in until like the very end, because that way if I want to take something out, move something around, any of that. So, okay. So, let's see. Where is... Okay. I pulled out a couple other things too. Let's see. I want coffee, and this is Lori's coffee dyed paper. You recognize this, Lori? I love the crunch. I love it. So I've got 3 sheets of it. Okay. I know, it's probably boring to most of you. And that's all right if you guys fast forward or don't watch. That's okay. Because I know everybody, everybody's at different stages. All right, so like this. All right, put coffee paper. Here. Now, normally when I stagger, I do stagger in about, when I say stagger, like here's my first signature. So I did it after my second. So here's my cover, my first page. I put my coffee in the same spots, just about everywhere. Okay. And then let's see, I got avocado. Oh, and this avocado dye paper is my attempt at lace dyeing, and I think I've kind of got it down finally. Took me a while to figure out the right, the right formula, I guess you might say, to get it all done. So I have pulled out 3 pieces, and I'm going to put those in here. So, Lori, you're getting the first of my lace tie paper. Okay. So, let's put that in here. So we skipped a page. I love how it came out, though. I mean, I love I don't know if you guys can see. The pattern on it. I love it. So I ordered some more lace with different patterns, because right now all I have is like the pineapple pattern and a couple of these different placemat styles. So I bought some other stuff, some of it came in today, some's coming in tomorrow, and then I think some more is coming in Monday. So, okay, skipped a page. That there. Yeah, see, I love how that pattern came out. So I don't know. Like I said, I may do digitals with them. I don't know yet. But if I do digital, it's going to have, I don't want just like 3 or 4 different patterns, obviously. So, okay. Skip a page. And I kind of wanted to mix too by staggering it, having a little bit, like this one's got butterflies in it, obviously, right? And then this one has a dragonfly. So I've got kind of an intermix of the butterflies and the dragonflies throughout. Okay. Now I have, I need to cut these down because I want to put these in here. These are from Medieval Mirage. They are like planner type, so I'll probably pop those. I'll have to cut those down and put those in here because she does hers, I think, on A4 paper, which is a little bit shorter on how they print. So yeah, I figured those would be pretty in there. Nice little place to actually put some, info in there if you want, like maybe birthdays or what's important and that kind of stuff. So that's what I did on those. So I'll have to cut those down. I have a piece of mulberry paper, and I want this in my center signature. It's purple. I like the color. It's almost like a smoky gray purple, if that's possible, to be smoky gray purple. All right, so we'll put that in our center. So we'll skip a page and then put that here. All right, and then I have, let's see, I thought I had 2 pages of that. Okay, guess I will put out one. Okay, so I've got a piece of ledger, which I will put kind of in the same spot. So skip a page. Here. That's my last signature. And then on my first, I have, I think, do I want to put, yeah. She had given me, she had sent me, actually, you know what I think I want to do? I think I want to put this one in here. It is a cute, it's a recipe card. It's like a recipe from a recipe book. But it's got sour cream walnut cookies and peanut cookies, orange cream cookies. But I loved this. It's like taken from like the inside of a candy shop. And I thought I loved all the little black and white graphics that maybe she could, you know, doodle or color that or whatever in there. So I'm going to add that in there. Of course, it has recipes too. So that's always good. Gouda Gouda. Skip one. Put that in there. Okay. And then my centers, I pulled out some Edith Holden's. And I know I'm going to have to cut them down and figure out or tuck them in or whatever. But I found one with a dragonfly. I found one. This is, I want as my center signature. And then this one has butterflies. So, let's see. Let's do this. This one has butterfly, one dragonfly. So let's put the one with the dragonfly in here as my center sig. And I know that's going to have to get cut down just a smidgen. I really don't want to cut anything off if I can help it. But we'll figure that out when the time comes for that. I just know that goes there. This I want on my last. And there, butterfly. And then this as my center spread. This one will probably be a lot easier to cut down in here. So we'll just have to figure that out as we go. Okay. And then, let's see. Okay. So I'm going to cut those down. I've got music paper I want to put in. So we'll put this in our center. So where did we leave off? We had this, we skipped, and then we're at our center again. So let's do music here in that center. And let me see, I've got some hymnal. See how I was talking about sometimes you get these pages and they come apart? You can always put these together with some washi to reinforce them. I won't use them, but if you know you're in an absolute, I may go back and add washi to all of them anyway. But if you're okay, is this okay, do that page. All right, so I got to pull another signature out. There we go. This one I know is somewhat loose because the front is already gone. And this one has what, 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. It's very loose, so okay. Oh, somebody left a paper clip in there. Isn't that cool? Let's see. Let's see, find there. I like the one that says Beyond the Sunset, Moment of Truth. So we'll put these two in there. Put the rest in my book so I don't lose them. All right, where did we put our music? Oh, I think I had already pulled one out, didn't I? I'll just use those two, whatevs. Okay. And really, this is pretty much all I do, so it's not hard. Okay, where did I put? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, I guess it's all, I should have just said, oh, it's next to the avocado diagram. That's probably what you guys are screaming at me. All right, so let's see how many pages we got in here so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we got 11 pages. I want to add each one of those, that's 12, and then I think I really kind of wanted to put this in one of them, but I might make a little fold-out tag or something with that. And let's see, the whole reason why I pulled this apart. And this one I shouldn't have to reinforce because the holes aren't really bad, so these are small, so that'll be 11, what, 12, 13 pages in each. Let's see, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah, 13. I don't know. We may have to. I don't know. What I might do is put instead 2 of these in here and then leave that center spread. I don't know yet. Like I said, it's still, okay, where did I put it? Okay, right there. Because I really don't want 13. I know 13 is not an unlucky number, but some people don't like it. If I go 14, they might be too thick. But these are small, like little inserts in there. So, but the Edith Holden does make it bigger. I might cut these down and use them as journaling cards, I think. I want to leave that as my center spread. I like that because it's a nice big open spread. Flowers, and then we can make some tags, and like I said, some journaling cards with these and the butterflies, or a fold-out page or something from it. We'll see. We'll keep those out and then add these. That way there's 12 pages. I didn't end up using the magazine in there, but 12 pages in each. And then, so I'll get these torn apart and put in there. What are we sitting for time? 40 minutes. Okay, I think I can get these cut down and put in there. I'll give maybe some raggedy edges on them. What do you guys think? Yeah, yeah. I did a bunch of little collage pages too. I'll see if I can find them real quick. Yeah. Believe it or not, I have more of these like designer paper scraps than I do plain paper scraps. So I was only able to do like 3 on the back, and I used up all my flat scraps. But I made 4 of these, but I thought, you know, I can cut them, stamp on them, do something with them. And then I have this one that I can always use to, you know, make a pocket or something. That way it's not as thick. Because, I mean, you really don't need all that on the back of a pocket if you're not going to see it. But they're cool. I made them up, and then, you know, I'm like, well, I'll just leave them in the sheets, and then when I need something, I can just stamp on it, cut it, do whatever, right? Awesome, awesome. They are fun. I sat and did them when I wasn't, believe it or not, when I wasn't feeling good. My head was just pounding, and I was just kind of mindlessly watching TV. And I said, you know, I got to do something other than sitting here watching this, you know, on TV. So fix that later. We'll fix that later. That's the problem. I'm telling you, I think mine is bent. Because even if I push down hard, it just goes everywhere. And I think it's because it's bent. And we'll ink all that up. All right. There's one. And it could be that I don't maybe get enough pressure on it. Maybe I do need to stand up. Let's see. Let's see if it makes a difference. Maybe a little bit. Maybe that's what I need to do, is stand up when I use my care ruler. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that was any better. But that's okay, because I kind of want these to be roughly rough edges. And last one, ink around them. I know this is probably boring for you guys watching it. Care paper. Okay, so those are torn. Let's give a little inker dinkers around the edges here so they're not looking so white. Sorry if I jiggled that. Or I've torn the paper. Ooh, ding. Hit the spring. That was good, Denise. Yeah, I kind of want to have like this in here to make it look like an old vintage planner or something, you know? Like maybe they were planning their vacation or their fun time together, you know? I don't know. That's just me being crazy. And one. Because I thought about tearing and ruffling, you know, doing it to all the pages, but then I was like, man, I don't know. The only thing that does scare me about doing that is then sometimes you get them all out of wonk. Like too much out of wonk. I mean, a few pages I think is cool, but I am not, as you can see, I have not mastered. I love my tear ruler, but I just have not mastered it yet. I have not mastered it like Amy has. She gets that thing going. Whew. But, yeah, my stuff would be like all Cricut and half-paged, and yeah, I would be doing probably more printing than I would be tearing. Okay. Almost done, guys. Yeah, I think I'll make a couple videos tonight and then get them loaded up over the weekend, and so I can get a few other things done. Like I said, I've got envelopes all separated on my dining room table again, and I have to go through and because I can't do them all at once, because I hang them on clothes dryers, you know, the ones that you can buy at Walmart that have like the different racks, and I hang them out in my garage in the wintertime to air dry after I get the glue off of them before I avocado dye them. So got to go through each of those segments, make sure they're all counted out and done all that and all that wonderful stuff. So let's see. I was gonna score it, but I think it'll be all right. Let's see. I think I want this one in my center signature somewhere. Where is the balloon folder? There it is. All right. Where is that second signature? Where's the first one? Okay. Maybe. How about we put that like in the front part? Oh, I wanted that in my center, didn't I? Denise, you said your center. Okay, well, sometimes put this one in the front. Okay, here we go. one. Where's the center? Okay. I need to move those pages so I don't get them confused. And I think I had it there. And the last one. Yeah, I know I'm folding them upside down. I just have a better view, I think, of it that way. All right. Right to there. And there are those put together. So I got all my pages together for what I want in there. So 3 signatures. Not too bad. And probably looking at about, probably after we expand it out, probably, I'm thinking between 1.5 inches and a 2-inch spine on it. So that way it has room to grow. I love this thing because I can use it to put all my stuff and everything else out of my way. So, all right, guys, I hope some of it was helpful. It wasn't too confusing with what I was trying to get across as far as trying to get signatures out and staples out and all that stuff. Just please, guys, if you do it, please don't jam yourself with anything. If you're too scared to do it, just don't, you know. So just kind of showing you what I do. Anyway, so let me get all this put together, put back, and then I'll probably do another video and start, I guess, figuring out where I'm going to sew and all that stuff next. So until next time, guys, plenty of hugs, loves, and blessings. Mwah. Bye, guys.